Flynn, but it wasn't verified. It wasn't the real General Flynn.
Right.
And you've got Nancy Pelosi and Elijah Cummings, two of the top House Democrats,
right,
who are so incensed, who are so ready to trash Donald Trump for anything, that they run to the microphones and they say, we have got to do something about this and have congressional hearings right away, because we're connecting the non-existent dots. This man is talking to Russia and Donald Trump is behind it. And by the way, they never checked out whether or not it was the real General Flynn who did it.
We still don't know who set this up. We don't know who's behind it.
No,
and
but
I don't know if anybody's
verified
investigating
it very easily.
How could they have verified it?
Real simple, Bill. What you do is there's usually a blue check mark if someone is a celebrity or if someone is well known like General Flynn. It's simple. Your 12-year-old knows this.
I don't know.
15-year-old. Yeah, I know.
I have no idea, because I don't live in that world. But I will tell you this, and I think this will impress you, Judge.
Yes.
Orders to my staff are that any tweets at any time are not to be reported unless verified by two other sources. Okay. So we have never gotten in trouble with fake news. We have never been faked out. We have never used anything off a Twitter account at all unless we can independently verify it from somewhere else.
And that's because you don't have an agenda. You are interested in sources.
No, that's because I'm a Luddite. I don't know anything about it, and I don't trust it.
But think about it, Bill.
But they wanted it to be true.
He is the ranking member of House Oversight and
Doesn't
Government
make any
Reform.
sense, right?
And he wants to have hearings on this.
This is Cummings you're talking about.
I'm talking about Elijah Cummings.
Right. But Elijah would want to have hearings on this segment. He'd want to deport you and me. That's what a zealot and a fanatic he is.
Yeah, and not the people who are not working today because they're illegals, and you know.
All right, let's not get into it. So the outrage of the week is, according to Judge Pirro, is that this fake tweet was picked up by two very powerful House members and used as a hammer to
go after Donald Trump.
Right.
And not only that, they demand hearings.
Did they apologize, by the way?
They don't apologize in the same way. All they did was they tweeted, oh, it was a mistake that a lot of people made.
Sorry, we're sorry.
Yeah, not really.
Okay, Judge Pirro, everybody, check her out Saturday night at 9. Fact tip of the day, a couple of books you might like. Also, Robert Samuel has his contributing fact.
Plants and factories are already starting to move back into the United States, and big league, Ford, General Motors, so many of them. I'm making this presentation directly to the American people with the media present, which is an honor to have you. This morning, because many of our nation's reporters and folks will not tell you the truth and will not treat the wonderful people of our country with the respect that they deserve. And I hope going forward we can be a little bit different and maybe get along a little bit better if that's possible. Maybe it's not, and that's okay too. Unfortunately, much of the media in Washington, D.C., along with New York, Los Angeles in particular, speaks not for the people, but for the special interests and for those profiting off a very, very obviously broken system. The press has become so dishonest that if we don't talk about it, we are doing a tremendous disservice to the American people. Tremendous disservice. We have to talk about it to find out what's going on, because the press honestly is out of control. The level of dishonesty is out of control. I ran for president to represent the citizens of our country. I am here to change the broken system so it serves their families and their communities well. I am talking and really talking on this very entrenched power structure, and what we're doing is we're talking about the power structure. We're talking about its entrenchment. As a result, the media is going through what they have to go through to oftentimes distort, not all the time, and some of the media is fantastic, I have to say. They're honest and fantastic. But much of it is not. The distortion, and we'll talk about it, you'll be able to ask me questions about it. But we're not going to let it happen, because I'm here again to take my message straight to the people. As you know, our administration inherited many problems across government and across the economy. To be honest, I inherited a mess. It's a mess. At home and abroad, a mess. Jobs are pouring out of the country. You see what's going on with all of the companies leaving our country, going to Mexico and other places. Low pay, low wages, mass instability overseas, no matter where you look. The Middle East, a disaster. North Korea, we'll take care of it, folks. We're going to take care of it all. I just want to let you know, I inherited a mess. Beginning on day one, our administration went to work to tackle these challenges. On foreign affairs, we've already begun enormously productive talks with many foreign leaders, much of it you've covered, to move forward towards stability, security, and peace in the most troubled regions of the world, of which there are many. We have had great conversations with the United Kingdom and meetings, Israel, Mexico, Japan, China, and Canada. Really, really productive conversations. I would say far more productive than you would understand. We've even developed a new council with Canada to promote women's business leaders and entrepreneurs. Very important to me, very important to my daughter Ivanka. I have directed our defense community, headed by our great general, now Secretary Mattis. He's over there now working very hard to submit a plan for the defeat of ISIS, a group that celebrates the murder and torture of innocent people in large sections of the world. It used to be a small group. Now it's in large sections of the world. They've spread like cancer. ISIS has spread like cancer. Another mess I inherited. And we have imposed new sanctions on the nation of Iran, who's totally taken advantage of our previous administration. And they're the world's top sponsor of terrorism. And we're not going to stop until that problem is properly solved. And it's not properly solved now. It's one of the worst agreements I've ever seen drawn by anybody. I've ordered plans to begin for the massive rebuilding of the United States military. I've had great support from the Senate. I've had great support from Congress generally. We've pursued this rebuilding in the hopes that we will never have to use this military. And I will tell you, that is I would be so happy if we never had to use it. But our country will never have had a military like the military we're about to build and rebuild. We have the greatest people on earth in our military, but they don't have the right equipment, and their equipment is old. I used it. I talked about it at every stop. Depleted. It's depleted. It won't be depleted for long. And I think one of the reasons I'm standing here instead of other people is that, frankly, I talked about we have to have a strong military. We have to have strong law enforcement also. So we do not go abroad in the search of war. We really are searching for peace, but it's peace through strength. At home, we have begun the monumental task of returning the government back to the people on a scale not seen in many, many years. In each of these actions, I'm keeping my promises to the American people. These are campaign promises. Some people are so surprised that we're having strong borders. Well, that's what I've been talking about for a year and a half, strong borders. They're so surprised. Oh, he's having strong borders. Well, that's what I've been talking about to the press and to everybody else. One promise after another, after years of politicians lying to you to get elected. They lied to the American people in order to get elected. Some of the things I'm doing probably aren't popular, but they're necessary for security and for other reasons. And then coming to Washington and pursuing their own interests, which is more important to many politicians. I'm here following through on what I pledged to do. That's all I'm doing. I put it out before the American people, got 306 electoral college votes. I wasn't supposed to get 222. They said there's no way to get 222. 230 is impossible. 270, which you need, that was laughable. We got 306.